أهلا وسهلا فيكم بجلسة من برنامج جسور للإرشاد الأكاديمي. برنامج جسور للإرشاد الأكاديمي هو برنامج بتدعمه جسور لمساعدة الطلاب اللي بيرغبوا أنهم يكملوا دراستهم خارج القطر العربي السوري. جسور هي منظمة غير ربحية قام بتأسيسها عدد من المغتربين السوريين بهدف مساعدة السوريين لاستكمال دراستهم الجامعية وما بعد الجامعية. من خلال بتساعد جسور السوريين من خلال 3 برامج: برنامج الإرشاد، برنامج ريادة الأعمال، برنامج المنح، وبرنامج الإرشاد الأكاديمي. بحب دائما نوه إنه برنامج الإرشاد الأكاديمي هو برنامج منفصل تماما عن برنامج المنح. برنامج الإرشاد الأكاديمي بيقدم الدعم والإرشاد للطلاب عن طريق ربطهم بمرشدين أكاديميين بيساعدوهم وبينصحون بطريقة التقديم والبحث عن الجامعات، بالإضافة للجلسات اللي بنعملها كل شهر أونلاين. خلال هي الجلسة رح نحكي طبعا رح نكمل الجلسة باللغة الإنجليزية ورح بلش بتعريف المتحدثين وتقديم الجلسة. Christina, Fernando, and Aki, I just introduced Jusoor, and now I'm going to introduce the scholarship. The Syrian Scholars Initiative, it's like in partnership with Japan International Christian University Foundation, the JICUF, Jusoor is excited to announce this new scholarship for 2018 and 2019 for students to attend International Christian University, ICU, in Tokyo, Japan. Full undergraduate scholarships will be awarded to 2 Syrian youth currently residing in Turkey, and students can choose any of ICU's 31 majors. Fernando and Aki will continue to tell us more details on this scholarship. We have Fernando Rojas, he's the program manager, and Aki Takada, Director of Communications at the Japan ICU Foundation. We also have Christina from Jusoor team, who's currently working as the program associate. Fernando and Aki, please go ahead.
Okay. Hi, so we will be presenting about our Syrian Scholars Initiative. As you can see, this is a collaboration between the Japan ICU Foundation and Jusoor ICU and the Japan Association for Refugees. First of all, this is a scholarship for undergraduate studies at ICU, and I'm just going to explain what ICU is. It is the International Christian University. It's a private 4-year liberal arts college in Tokyo. It was, educators in Japan and the United States got together right after World War II and decided to establish a university in Tokyo based on Christian principles. And ICU was finally founded in 1953. Now, what is JICUF? It is short for Japan ICU Foundation. It was established in 1948 in New York City to raise funds to create ICU within the United States. And to this day, JICUF continues to support ICU through providing funds for facilities, scholarships, grants, and other programs. What is the Syrian Scholars Initiative? So as I said, it is a scholarship to study at ICU in Tokyo. And here is the link to the university. It is a full scholarship for 4 years of undergraduate studies. So if you're looking for a graduate scholarship, this is not the right scholarship for you. We will support Syrian youths currently residing in Turkey, and 2 scholars will receive the scholarship for admission to ICU next September. The award is contingent upon acceptance to ICU, which means that after you are selected to receive the scholarship, you still have to apply to ICU for admission. It is an 8-year program starting this year and ending in 2025, and we hope to support 6 students in total. And this is what we mean by an 8-year program. 2 students will be admitted to ICU in 2018, 2 more in 2019, and 1 more each in the next 2 years. And the last student will complete his or her studies at ICU in 2025. And here is ICU at a glance. ICU has about 2,800 undergraduate students from over 40 countries. The foreign faculty ratio is about 36%. ICU offers 31 majors, which I will go over in the next slide, and 900 students among the 2,800 live on campus. Student to full-time faculty ratio is 1:18, and it has recently been ranked number 3 private university in Times Higher Education's Japan University rankings. ICU was founded on Christian principles, but it is not a proselytizing university. In other words, it will never force you to convert to Christianity. And here is the list of 31 majors that ICU offers. You must be interested in one of these 31 majors to apply for the scholarship. I know that many people are interested in pursuing engineering, medical science, pharmaceutical science, or architecture, but these are the fields that ICU does not offer. The closest thing you would get to engineering might be physics or information science. But please do not apply if you are interested in engineering or medical science or any of the majors that ICU does not provide. At ICU, you will be required to take a Japanese course, language course. As international students, you must take at least 2 years of intensive Japanese language courses. And by the end of the second year, you will decide your major. If you are not interested in studying the Japanese language, this would not be the right program for you. Eligibility. You must be a Syrian national residing in Turkey. You must be single with no dependents. You must have graduated from high school. You must have a good command of English. Either a TOEFL or IELTS score is mandatory, and there is a minimum score requirement. For TOEFL, it is 79. For IELTS, it's 6.5. If you have a score that is lower than these, you will not be admitted to ICU. You must have a strong interest in studying in Japan and the Japanese language. And finally, you must be interested in pursuing a major offered at ICU. As for passport, we do not require that you have a Syrian passport. However, it is strongly recommended that you apply for one while you are still in Turkey. The Japanese government will issue a student visa even if you don't have a passport, but it is not certain whether you can return to Turkey without a passport. It means you will have to apply for a Turkish visa without a passport, and there are no precedents. So we do urge you to apply for a passport if you do not have one already. And if you do have a passport, make sure that it is valid until October 2018. You will be traveling to Japan over the summer in 2018, and you will have some time to renew your passport if it's valid at least until October 2018. The application timeline. The application is already open, and the deadline is September 12, 2017 at 11:59 p.m. Turkey time. And we will announce the shortlist on September 30th. The people on the shortlist will be invited for interviews in Turkey. We plan to conduct interviews in Istanbul and Gaziantep. In November, we will announce the results of SSI. The finalists will then have to submit application to ICU in January. Here are the dates. ICU will announce their results on February 23rd, and if you're accepted, you will matriculate at ICU in September.
Thank you, Aki. So I'll now explain the application process a little bit. So as Aki mentioned, the application is live now, and it's completely online. However, we will require on the application for you to upload some of the following documents. One is a copy of the passport. If you do not have the passport, you must indicate the reason why you don't have one. As Aki mentioned, it's not required, but if you do have it, upload it now. We will also ask for a copy of a legal Turkish legal document. And by this, we mean you must either upload a copy of your kimlik, your residency permit, or a visa if you have one. For educational background, we'll require the following documents: a TOEFL or IELTS score certification, and these can be downloaded from the TOEFL or IELTS websites once you have taken them. We will also require an educational certificate, and these could be either the Syrian baccalaureate, an international baccalaureate, SATs, ACTs, or GCEs A-level. We will also encourage you to submit a high school transcript. And in addition to all these documents, we will also require 2 recommendation letters. Now, please note that all documents must be in English, and any documents not written in English will require a translation. Now, please note that we are very flexible, that we are trying to be flexible to your situations. So if you have any issues obtaining these documents, we ask you to please contact us at information@jicuf.org, and we will work with you to figure something out. Now, as I mentioned before, we will require 2 recommendation letters. The first recommendation letter must be from a high school principal or guidance counselor. Now, this scholarship is open to those who have attended or are attending university. If you are attending or have attended university, that first recommendation letter can be from a university dean, a department head, or an academic advisor. For the second recommendation letter, it will have to be from a high school instructor who has taught or is teaching a core subject, such as English, social studies, math, science, or foreign language. Again, if you have attended or are attending university, this second recommendation letter can come from an instructor who has taught or is currently teaching an academic subject. As a reminder, all recommendation letters must be in English. If the recommender cannot write in English, he or she must submit an English translation. Now, there are 3 ways to submit a recommendation letter, and these are in order of preference. One is through the application, and I will go over it briefly in a few moments, how to access the application. So on the application form, you must enter information about your recommenders. When you submit your application, your recommender will receive an email requesting a recommendation letter. When they get that email, they can upload the letter using the link provided. This is our preferred method. If they are unable to upload their letter, they can also email the letter directly to us at information@jicuf.org with the name in the title of the email. For example, recommendation for somebody. If this is impossible, then we also accept recommendation letters via postal mail, and they can mail the letters to JICUF. The address is provided in the application form. Now, just please note that the deadline for the application is September 12th. However, we are giving recommenders a 1-week grace period, and they must be received by September 19th.
Yeah, thank you, Fernando. And lastly, I'd like to mention TOEFL vouchers. I know that many people do not have TOEFL scores. Now, we have a very limited number of TOEFL vouchers left. You can email information@jicuf.org immediately if you would like to apply for a voucher. If you have this voucher, you can register for a TOEFL test for free. Please email with the title, Request for TOEFL Voucher, and send us a copy of your Syrian baccalaureate or other educational certificate and English translation so we may see your English proficiency level. If we have more applicants than the number of vouchers available, we will give priority to the people who have higher English and overall scores. We would like to give out the vouchers by the end of the week. If this is not possible, as soon as possible, probably next week, because you will need to register for a test in July or August. And here are the important links. The scholarship website is here, jicuf.org/SSI. There is a sign-up form on the right-hand column of this webpage. Please sign up to receive any updates. And the JICUF and ICU websites are here. We will host another webinar on July 14th, Friday, at 10 p.m. Turkey time. The registration link is also on the SSI website. So that's it. Thank you, and see you at ICU.
All right, so now it's back to me. I'll show you briefly how to access the application form. So if you go to the jicuf.org/SSI, you will reach this page, which has all the information about the program, eligibility, requirements, any FAQs, all the information about our scholarship is available here. At the top of the page, you will see a button that says Apply Online here. Okay. Can we open it in incognito?
How do you do that? Okay.
Let's go back to that. Okay. Let me sign you up. Okay, so click here, and you'll be taken to this screen where it tells you a little bit about the scholarship application. It'll show that it's available, and it has 6 parts, 6 sections, which you must fill out carefully. It'll also have an important notice that this scholarship is only available to Syrian nationals currently residing in Turkey. And so when you get to the bottom, it'll ask you to create an account. It's real simple. Just put in your name, last name, email, and a password, and it will directly lead you to the application page. I have already created one, so I will log in right now. So once you create your account, again, you will see the little introduction, and then you'll see that everything here, then you'll see the following sections. Some of these are very straightforward. So for example, the first section is contact info and personal background. I'll just scroll through all of these. All this is just sample information. You can see here we ask you to list your family members to get a sense of your familial situation. Here I put in just made up people. Well, not made up, but I created some profiles. So this is sort of what we want to see, your family situation. I would also like to encourage all of you to always save it. There's a save draft button at the bottom of the page. So as you go along in the application, please be sure to save a draft. So after the first section, the next section will be about your education. We want to know what high school you attended, when you completed high school, what the name of the high school is. We will also ask you if you have attended university or if you are currently attending university. We also want information about the name of university and anything and any majors or areas of study. This section also includes some question about your language abilities. This is a self-assessment, so you can enter your mother language, your mother tongue, which for most of you will probably be Arabic, and you would have to assess your writing, reading, and speaking abilities in each of these languages. English is here as a default, so make sure you indicate your language proficiency for English. If you have any additional languages, list those as well. We want to know as much about your language abilities as possible. Finally, next section 3 is a short essay. Very easy, just pick a section, pick a question, and then complete the essay. And then section 4 is the personal statement. This is your chance to really show us and tell us about yourself, about your background, about what your future goals are, and more importantly, why you are interested in Japan and in studying at ICU. Sure. Please be sure to write to at least 400 words. We have received a few applications so far that have only been a couple of sentences. We do not want a couple of sentences. We want thought out paragraphs. So please be sure to have at least 400 words in your essay and in your personal statement. The next section is the recommendation letters section. At the top, there is the information that we just presented in the slide. It has information about who can write your recommendation letters and the different methods of submitting their letters. The address is here if they are unable to upload or send their letters to us via email. In this section, you must put in the name of the recommender, the first one. Indicate what their relationship is to you. So here I just said it's a guidance counselor. We will need the phone number. The phone number will allow our partners in Turkey to contact your recommender should there be any issues or if we have any questions. And then this email field is very important. If the email that you the email of the recommender that you put here is where the link to upload the recommendation letter is sent to. So it's very important that you get this correct, that you get this right. If your recommender does not receive his or her recommendation letter, the link, then they should check their spam or junk email. The next section is the recommender 2. Again, put in the name. And we also want to know what subject or subjects they taught. Phone number again, and email. And lastly, the last section will be the document upload. Here is where you will upload all the physical copies of the physical documents that we outlined in our presentation. In addition to the headshot photo, we will ask for a copy of your passport, if you have it. So if I select yes, it will ask me for the expiration date of my passport, and then it will ask me to upload my passport copy of the passport page of my copy of the photo page of my passport. If I select no, you will have to explain why you don't have a passport. Okay, here's a sample answer. It should be longer. We want a clearer explanation of why you don't have it. The next section will ask you to upload the Turkish legal documents. Earlier, I indicated that I have a kimlik, so I will upload a copy of my kimlik. Next is you will have to choose what educational certificates you have available. You have a Syrian baccalaureate. It will populate. It'll create an upload field that will ask you to upload the baccalaureate with an English translation. If you have an IB, the same thing. The field will generate and it will prompt you to upload your file. Please check all that apply. But you only need one of these to apply. You only need one of these 5 educational certificates. The next section is high school transcripts. High school transcript, for some of you who might be unfamiliar, has the grades for your first, second, and third year. Recently, we were notified that these high school transcripts might be difficult for some of you to obtain. So if you have your high school transcripts available, please upload them, but they are not required. But we highly encourage you to upload them. And finally, you must upload IELTS or TOEFL score certificate. These will be made available to you after you take your test. Please upload here as well. So once you're done, just click submit and that's it.
Yeah, just a final word about TOEFL. Because our scholarship, the application deadline for our scholarship is September 12th, you will need to take the TOEFL test no later than August. It takes about 2 weeks for downloadable PDF score reports to come out after the test. So in fact, the last day that you can take TOEFL in Istanbul and Ankara would be August 26th, and in Gaziantep, August 5th. That is why we would like to hurry and distribute the rest of the vouchers. And even if you don't get a voucher, if you're serious about applying for a scholarship, please register to take TOEFL as soon as possible. I think that is it from us. How do we stop screen share? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Could you please, hello, yeah. Actually, we received a couple of questions that I would like to ask you, and I want to remind our viewers, that please feel free to ask any question by adding it to a comment and on the YouTube channel on this session exactly. And I will try to deliver your questions to Aki and Fernando for answering. And you can also ask Christina about scholarships in Jusoor. Someone asked if the scholarship is only for Christians.
No, it is not. It is actually, the name of the university is International Christian University, but it does not mean that students have to be Christian. In fact, the majority of students who go to ICU are not Christian. So no, you do not have to be Christian.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And someone else is a little bit concerned because the scholarship is only for people who are residing in Turkey. So is it possible for others to apply, or it's only restricted for Syrians residing inside Turkey?
At this time, we are limiting it to Turkey. and there might be potential to expand later, but we want to focus for this first year at least on only in Turkey.
Thank you very much. Let me check if we have other questions. He's also asking about the IELTS score, but you already answered. Would you like to mention that again, please?
IELTS score?
The IELTS
About
score.
the minimum?
Yes, exactly. Required?
Yeah, so we will require a certificate or a score for either the IELTS or the TOEFL. And it's very important that we have this because we need ICU will not let you apply unless you have this certificate. And so therefore, we're making it a requirement for us as well for the scholarship first.
So it's either the IELTS or the TOEFL, one of the two. And the minimum score for IELTS is 6.5.
Okay. I'm checking if we have other questions. Christina, we don't have any more questions, but would you like to highlight anything from what Aki and Fernando said, or maybe Aki and Fernando, would you like to add anything else?
Well, I will just remind applicants to, as Aki and Fernando mentioned, there are several very important eligibility criteria which you must meet before applying. So please abide by those criteria and read the eligibility criteria first on the scholarship website before you start your application. So this is an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in Japan, but please keep in mind that it is for a very specific person who has interest in Japan and learning the Japanese language and in pursuing the majors that ICU offers. So please keep all of those in mind before you start.
Great.
Thank you, Christina. Fernando, you were about to say something?
Yes, so I just want to emphasize that, you know, it's a learning process for us as well. So if there's if you want to bring something to our attention, please let us know. We can be flexible in certain ways, and in some ways we can't, but just let us know. Always feel free to contact us at information@jxuf.org, and we'll be happy to hear your story and learn a little bit more about your situation.
Thank you very much. Actually, another question. So he's asking if the IELTS score is for writing, reading, and speaking. I think what you're asking for is the total, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, and another question, what does the scholarship cover and what are the programs?
Well, the scholarship is a full scholarship, meaning 100% of tuition, housing. You will be given living expenses. We will cover your insurance and travel from Japan to Turkey. And what the program is, it's an undergraduate program for 4 years. So you will be guaranteed all of these items for 4 years. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I think it does, definitely.
There's one point I wanted to raise about housing, about accommodation there on campus. Aki and Fernando, if you would like to speak to the housing arrangements available there, I think some applicants would be interested in knowing the accommodation situation.
I think there are 9 dorms in total on campus. 2 of them are brand new. They just opened this April. And I think most of them are double occupancy rooms, but there are some single rooms as well. So most likely you will have a roommate unless you absolutely do not want a roommate. I think you can apply for a single room as well. Usually bathrooms are shared. Kitchen is shared, but most of the dorms are new. They have been built less than 10 years ago, I think, most of them. So it's likely that you will be in a very comfortable housing. Is there anything else I can tell you? Students can cook for themselves in the kitchens, or there's a cafeteria open from breakfast till dinner. So I don't think you'll find much trouble with food. Is there anything else?
Well, I think that's great for accommodation. One more point I just remembered when the student was asking what the scholarship covered is, I believe you said there will be in-country language training before departure for those who are maybe concerned about, not having any Japanese language skills before they start.
Yeah, actually, there is someone based in Gaziantep who used to be a teacher at Aleppo University's Japan Center, who has offered to give online instruction in Japanese prior to departure. And we are also trying to arrange a summer language program after arrival in Tokyo. This isn't for certain yet. We're still trying to work out the details, but if possible, we'd like the students to go through a month of language training in Tokyo before starting studies at ICU.
Okay, wonderful. Well, those were all the questions I had. Salam, did we have any more questions from viewers?
Actually, yes, I would like to give a couple of minutes for people to ask, because there's someone who is still asking questions. Okay, he's asking if candidates or applicants with Japanese-speaking skills, if they get any advantages.
Of course, I guess it's one advantage, but we don't require it.
The main thing is that you will be applying as basically a non-Japanese applicant. So non-Japanese applicants must have strong English in order to apply to ICU. So it's not the Japanese speaking abilities is great, but we are focusing mainly on the English abilities.
Yeah, because ICU is a bilingual institution in English and Japanese. Applicants must either be fluent in English or Japanese. So even if you have several years of studying Japanese, your fluency level is still not very high. So you would need to be proficient in English to be admitted by ICU. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Aki and Fernando, for your thorough answers, actually. I think we stopped receiving questions, so I think that's it, and you already explained everything. We're also open to receiving questions later. We're going to publish this session again on Facebook and other social media, so please, when you watch this session and you have any question, please don't hesitate to send your questions to us, and we will send them to Aki and Fernando to get answers. And the deadline for the scholarship again
is September 12th at 11:59 p.m. Turkey time. Please submit your application online. However, the deadline for recommendation letters is September 19th. We're giving you an extra week just in case your recommenders need some time to think about it and write it. And the deadline for applying for TOEFL vouchers, though, we would like really to have all applications in this week. So you can actually use the vouchers to register for the test as soon as possible.
Yes. All right. So thank you, Christina. Thank you, Aki and Fernando, for your time and your efforts, and for the scholarship. We encourage Syrian people in Turkey to apply to this. It's a great opportunity. And just like I said, please don't hesitate to send us your questions, and we're open to answering them anytime. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.